I'd like to thank John and Mark for getting us today to this point. I'd say this today is the culmination of a lifetime's worth of activity for me. I was born in Waukesha in 1955, and a condition called Noonan syndrome runs in my family. My three older siblings managed to escape it, but it hit me like a ton of bricks every day of my life. I was a blue baby. I was taken from my mother's arms to an incubator right away. My mom handed me my baby book a few years ago. At 6 months, I had bronchitis. At 22 months, I had bronchial pneumonia with asthma. My mother says I was always wheezing. I can imagine that my first memories as I came into consciousness in this world were gasping for breath. And I had birth defects of my face. I had ptosis of the eyelid, of my left eyelid. Noonan syndrome for me also has meant glaucoma, a lifetime of glaucoma. It's meant serious heart problems. I began losing my sight to glaucoma as a small child, but by then I'd already had 2 surgeries on my eyes. In 1971, a high school physical discovered I had a serious heart condition. I had to have 2 open heart surgeries at age 14. Then as a 17-year-old high school senior, going to my glaucoma checkups, I had read that cannabis had been used to treat glaucoma and that there had been some use for it. Early research had shown it to be of some benefit. I smoked some cannabis and went to see my eye doctor on October 3rd of 1972, 37 years ago. My pressures were usually very elevated. He was an older doctor who had been seeing me since I was a child. That day my pressures were normal. I made a mental note that cannabis could save my eyesight. But still, by itself, cannabis was not enough to treat my glaucoma. And I could not get it in the quantity and the proper method. There was little known of medical marijuana in the 70s. I tried to work to get a law passed in Wisconsin. I was at a hearing here 30 years ago on July 31st, 1979. I tried to get in the program that Jacki was in the late 70s. I couldn't find a doctor in Wisconsin who would fill out the paperwork for me. Gaylord Nelson and William Proxmire, our senators, helped me get the paperwork, but nobody would fill it out. A law was finally passed here in 1981 for glaucoma and chemotherapy patients, but Governor Dreyfus signed it into law in '82. But the government would not supply the medical marijuana, so I was back to square one. I moved to California. I have more problems out there with glaucoma. I had eye surgery in 1994. It permanently damaged my good eye, left me permanently disabled. In 1997, I had my heart surgery from 1971 had failed, and I needed an aortic valve replacement. That went pretty well, but coming out of it, I was infected with the MRSA staph infection, and was spent 2 more weeks in the hospital. Nearly died. Finally, a friend brought me some edibles while I was still hospitalized. I began to feel better. I came off of what was my deathbed, and I came home from the hospital, and I vowed I would use the extra time that I was given to work to see that this was passed in Wisconsin. I met Jacki not long after that, and we've been working on this year after year, and bill after bill has died in committee. You know, I was born with a condition. I didn't ask for this. Cannabis has been like a key fitting the lock for treating this condition for me. It's been a godsend. It's allowed me to live a fairly active life and not be on all kinds of pharmaceuticals. I may look pretty good to you. That's because of cannabis. I still have a serious heart condition. I have a stenosing aortic, leaky aortic heart valve replacement, a pig valve. I just saw my cardiologist. I vaporized cannabis all day. He said that my slightly enlarged heart had become less enlarged. He said, come back in a year instead of 6 months. I'm a living medical miracle. Why should I be a criminal? My doctors in California support me. My doctors in Wisconsin support me. I mean, I spent my whole adult life trying to get this medicine legal. I haven't been able to live a normal life because of illness. Now, because my medicine is illegal, I haven't been able to live a normal life. I've been shamed and put down and forced to go out on the streets. It's time for it to end. And Jackie talked about her friend Mary. She was a disabled Army vet. She had AIDS, hepatitis C, cancer. She was up here testifying at hearings. She was out in the cold. She did everything she could. Me and Mary hit 80 offices together. Many of you met her. The last day she was here was October 7th, and she was using an oxygen tank. And I knew it was going to be her last day, and 15 days later, she died in her sleep. And this bill came too late for Mary. And that's what this is all about, is compassion. And Wisconsin's a good state. We tried to do the right thing in 1981. That bill passed by 32-1 and 78-19. The people of Wisconsin support this. I beg the committee to please pass this legislation intact and send it to both houses for a floor vote. Please do that for the people today here, and the people who can't make it today, and the people who this bill is too late for. Thank you.
Thank you, Jerry.